Welcome to our video about the amazing world of polar and brown bear. Today we will embark on an exciting journey to learn more about these magnificent creatures, their unique features, and who is stronger. Get ready to plunge into the world of amazing coloring, behavior, and adaptations of these stunning predators who have found their place in various parts of the planet. Enjoy fascinating information and exciting facts about white and brown bears. Let's get started. A polar bear, or polar bear, is a large mammal well adapted to life in the Arctic. Its appearance and coloring are closely related to its environment. Polar bears get their name because of their characteristic white or cream color, which allows them to perfectly hide on snow and ice in the Arctic. However, their wool is not absolutely white. It can have shades from white to yellowish or cream, depending on the season and individual characteristics of the bear. Polar bears have a dense two-layer fur consisting of water-repellent outer wool and a dense undercoat that helps them keep warm in cold conditions. Polar bears are large. Adult males can reach a height in the shoulders of about 3 meters and weigh from 400 to 600 kilos. Females are usually smaller than males. They have a massive head with powerful jaws, large paws with sharp claws that help them on the ice and hunt for prey. A characteristic feature of the polar bear is its powerful front paws, which help them swim and catch prey in the water. Polar bears are perfectly adapted to Arctic conditions. Their layer of fat under the skin and powerful fur help them keep warm in cold environments. They have excellent swimming skills and can travel long distances in search of prey such as seals or fish. Polar bears often spend time on ice hunting seals or fish. They can also feed on berries, roots, and plants, especially during the summer when access to prey on ice is limited. Polar bears are vulnerable because of habitat loss, climate change, and the negative impact of human activities on their numbers and environment. The main source of food for polar bears is usually seals, which they hunt on ice, waiting for them near holes in the ice or looking out of the water. It can also hunt fish, especially salmon, carp, and other species present in Arctic waters. In the summer months when the ice melts, access to seals may be restricted, and polar bears may feed on berries, roots, herbs, and other plants. But their main food is meat. Polar bears usually breed between the ages of 4 and 5. Females give birth to 1 or 2 young after 9 months of pregnancy. The mother takes care of the young for about 2.5 years, teaching them hunting and survival in the Arctic environment. Threats to polar bears include habitat loss due to ice melting, climate change, pollution, and hunting. They also face conflicts with people, especially those close to human settlements or industrial zones, such as oil and gas. Scientists are actively studying polar bears to understand their behavior, reproduction, nutrition, and adaptation to changing environments. This helps develop protective measures to protect this unique species. International conservation organizations and programs are working to protect polar bears, including the establishment of conservation areas, the control of illegal hunting, and the management of their habitat. Polar bears are perfectly adapted to life on ice and water surfaces. Their wide paws help them spread their weight evenly when walking on snow and ice, and also serve them perfectly as ice-melting shovels to get the prey out of the water. Excellent swimmers, they can swim long distances and stay afloat even in cold water. Their skin has a thick layer of fat that provides excellent insulation and helps them to keep warm in cold conditions. In fact, their underwool and fat are the 2 key elements that allow them to survive in extremely cold Arctic environments. Polar bears communicate mainly through sounds, gestures, and smells. They use different sounds to communicate with each other, including growling, snoring, and grumbling. They can also use visual and odor signals to mark their territory and establish social status. Polar bears can withstand long periods of starvation, especially in summer months when access to prey is limited. They can feed on their own winter fat stores. They have excellent hunting and survival skills, making them one of the most successful predators in the Arctic environment. Polar bears are one of the symbols of the Arctic regions and are an important object of study for the conservation of nature and biodiversity in these vulnerable ecosystems. Now I'll tell you about the brown bear. The brown bear, also known as the grizzly bear, is a large mammal with a fur ranging from brown to black and brown. Their wool can be different in hues and has a wavy texture. Brown bears are found in various regions of North America, Eurasia, and some islands. They prefer wooded and mountainous areas, although their habitats may vary between subspecies and regions. Grizzlies have a massive muscular body structure with elongated snouts and powerful front paws, making them excellent prey catchers and making it easy to open the soil in search of food. Adult males can reach a height in the shoulders of about 2.4 meters and weigh from 180 to 360 kilo. Females are usually smaller in size. The food of brown bears ranges from fish, small animals, berries and roots, to grass and insects. They can spend much time searching for food and are well adapted to hunting both on land and in water. Brown bears are known for their tree climbing skills, which may be unusual for bears this size. They can climb trees to avoid danger or find shelter. They have a strong sense of smell, which helps them to find food and traces of other animals. Although not considered critically vulnerable, the brown bear faces threats such as habitat loss, human conflicts, hunting, and climate change. Grizzlies play an important role in the ecosystems in which they live, controlling other animal populations and spreading seeds through their bowels. A brown bear can have quite extensive habitats. They can travel long distances in search of food or seasonal changes, moving from one area to another. In winter, a brown bear may enter during hibernation, but this is not as pronounced as in other bear species. They may wake up and even leave their shelters during the winter, especially if access to food is possible. Brown bears are usually more solitary, but can sometimes form temporary groups, especially during periods when access to food is easier. They may come into conflict with people, especially where their territories overlap with residential or human-made areas, which may lead to clashes and negative impacts on both sides. Hunting a brown bear is a conservation problem because it can lead to population decline and ecosystem imbalance. In many cultures, the brown bear is symbolic and important in the mythology, legends, and history of indigenous peoples, such as the Indians of North America and other communities. Many countries have taken measures to protect the brown bear, including the establishment of wildlife preserves, restrictions on hunting, and control of the conservation of its habitat. At certain times of the year, brown bears can migrate far, especially in search of food or for reproduction. Some populations can move hundreds of kilometers, depending on the season and the availability of food. Interestingly, the brown bear has excellent climbing skills on slopes and rocky terrain. Their claws help them to hold on to steep surfaces, and they can be quite nimble and agile despite their large size. The brown bear is well adapted to different climates. They can live both in forested areas and in more open spaces, adapting to a variety of habitats. These bears play an important ecological role in spreading seeds through their defecation, influencing vegetation and biodiversity in their habitats. Many scientists around the world are conducting research to better understand the behavior, migration, genetics, and impact of human activity on brown bear populations, which helps to develop conservation measures. Brown bear is an interesting and important link in ecological systems, has unique abilities, and plays a significant role in the conservation of biodiversity in nature. Comparing polar and brown bear directly and determining which of them is stronger or better in general is quite difficult, as each of them is adapted to its habitat and has unique features that make them successful in their conditions. Polar bears are adapted to Arctic conditions, including hunting seals and fish in harsh marine conditions. Their adaptation to the cold and their ability to travel long distances on ice or in water are important factors for their survival. Brown bears, on the other hand, live in a variety of locations, including forests and mountains. Their ability to hunt diverse prey and their adaptability to different climates make them successful in more diverse ecosystems. So the conclusion is that each bear species has its own unique strengths and adaptations that allow them to survive in their habitat. It is not clear that one species is better or stronger than another, as their strength and success depend on their ability to adapt to the environment in which they live. Thank you, friends, for joining us on this journey into the world of polar and brown bears. Remember to take care of our planet and preserve its riches. Until we meet again, friends, goodbye.